Welcome back to the Curious Yapper. I'm Madison, your host and favorite yapper, and this week was also wild, also whirlwind. I'm in better spirits though because my soul sister Julie came and visited both Evan and I, and it was a much needed, perfect timing visit. So, one thing to note is that Julie has known me easily, well since I was in high school. So we're talking over 10 years that she's known me very well. And one of her observations as I was sharing the things I was going through is that I am unrecognizable to the person I was a couple of years ago, and in the best way. And that's really encouraging because I have actively pursued working on myself and building the qualities I want to have. That includes going out of your comfort zone in the way of uncomfortable conversations and how those are so necessary. And throughout my therapy journey, I have learned that I am the only one with my perspective, and it is my job to share that with people around me, and no one can read my mind. And that is just has been very helpful to understand that no one can read my mind and I'm responsible to communicate what's inside my brain. So it was just very encouraging to have Julie, someone who's known and loved me for over a decade, to call out that she has seen the shift in me, and it's just nice that that's recognized. So I am in better spirits. This week was crazy though. We're not gonna go into all of it, but anyway, so we are at episode 21. I missed it last week because I was in a kind of mood, but we're in the 20s, you guys. We're 21. We're legal drinking age with how many episodes we have done. So it has been a journey together already. 21 episodes. So this past week on Monday was a tough day. I got some news at work that I was not expecting, and that threw me for a loop, and I had to sit with those feels for quite a bit. And at the same time, I can tell that I have been able to apply the tools I've been learning in therapy. But yeah, Monday was tough, and I got home with Evan and I was like, I don't even know how to change my mindset, how to help myself move through these feelings. I know previously I've been someone who emotionally eats, but I was telling him I don't even feel like that's gonna help. And we don't even have queso here if I wanted to emotionally eat, so I didn't do that. I was telling him, do I just sit on the couch and just be a vegetable? I didn't know. And luckily, Evan had an idea. He had purchased a Frisbee, so we actually went to the park and we were throwing the Frisbee around together. And that was hilarious because I was pretty bad. A common theme with me is I have lots of power. I got strength, I've got the power. The finessing of the skill with the aim or hitting that target, yeah, that's something to finesse. So I got the power's not the problem. So it's really funny with Evan and I tossing back and forth, and I was making Evan run on accident. He was going all kinds of different ways in the field, and then eventually we got closer and I noticed Evan was making it spin, whereas I was just pushing it and tossing it. So I was so then I figured out I should be flicking it and spinning the disc. So anyways, did that. I got a little bit better. And then hilariously, there was this 7-8-year-old kiddo that was riding through the park on his bike, and he's like, are you guys playing Frisbee? And we're like, yeah, that's why we have this Frisbee. And he's like, can I play? And so Evan was like, sure. So what's really funny is I'm kind of a self-deprecating person. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm not really great at this whole Frisbee thing. And that's okay. Also, to not be good at something, that's all okay. It's okay to not be good. Anyways, so I'm just making jokes about my Frisbee skills. And this kid is giving me instruction. He's like, well, I'm really great at Frisbee. He's like, yeah, you're messing up because your arm is going high where you should be going low, and just giving me all these tips, and it's just kind of funny. And then he had another friend and wasn't really letting that other friend play or shine, and Anyways, their names were Zach and Jack. And then one of the kiddos, the one that was giving me feedback, was telling us how expensive his bike was. And I was like, cool. Like, I'm unimpressed by how expensive your bike is, and I'm more interested in who you are as a person. And right now you're showing me that maybe you're a little bit insecure. So anyways, that's a future problem for him. But it was still funny to watch them interact with us. And then Evan was like, okay, 3 more tosses and then we're going to do our own game. I was like, cool. But it was really fun to do the new thing, new activity with Evan. And it's okay to be bad at it. And I still had fun. And it was great to help my brain shift and do something active, be outside. So that was really good. Always still grateful for Evan. He's good for my brain. He's good for my soul. So then the next day was, we don't gotta talk about work. That's fine. Then the next day I got to play some games after work, and I love games. Got to play some with some colleagues, and that was really delightful and definitely needed to, again, distract my brain and move through, some difficult feelings. And that night I learned, I'm curious, you guys, I am the curious yapper. I'm curious, what do you guys call when you are like on someone's back or arms and you're just kind of doing this? It's really light. It's not like, but it's just like da 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 da. What do you call that? I'm gonna pause for a couple seconds. What do you call this? Or like someone's doing it to your back. What do you call that? Because I call it tickles, and the people I was around thought I was saying that I enjoyed someone tickling me, like tickling my sides. No! So what the heck do you call that? And is that just a my family thing? And did I rub off on Evan? Like, what do you call that? So I have no idea. So that was Tuesday. Learned that not everybody calls this tickles. No idea. Tell me what you call it in the comments. Would love to know. And that was Tuesday. And then Wednesday had a much needed therapy session. Blessed therapy. I felt very empowered. Felt like I knew how to navigate conversations after that. So very glad for therapy. Blessed therapy. And then Thursday, things kind of take a turn in the positive way. And I had some tough work conversations, but they were productive and it was good. So yay. And then I got to pick up Julie. So that, I didn't get to pick her from the airport, but I met her at my apartment, got to let her in and hang out for just a second. And that was just delightful. Got a big squeeze from her, hilariously trying to find her with her Uber Lyft. I was like, did you turn left? And I'm just in the parking lot. She's like, we're in a big red car. So that was funny. And then found her, got to bring her inside. And I had a goodie basket ready for her, and a hilarious inside joke that was ready and waiting for her, made her laugh. And that was great. And then we had some time, got a sandwich that was delicious. Got a pesto sandwich. I got a thing for pesto. I got a thing for sandwiches. Hello. Have you been around? The Curious Yapper loves sandwiches. So then I went back to work, and then she picked me up, which was lovely afterwards. And then it was Food Truck Thursday. So we went to the food trucks, got to try some different foods. We got some pretzel bites. I got some buffalo mac and cheese. She got a Seattle dog, and we got some jalapeno poppers. So that was fun. And then after, we went on an adventure to get her a copy of the apartment key, and we went to Home Depot, and she picked out a key that is like a dog's head. It's pretty cute. So then we did that, and then it was time to be back home, and we just chatted, and then it was time for bed, and that was it for Thursday. Friday, National Bagel Day, you guys. Woo woo, we celebrated. Got myself a jalapeno cheddar bagel. Yum, delicioso. And then after work it's the weekend. And I got home and I was like, I'm ready to adventure. And and I got to call one of my work friends on the way home. That was fun. Got to hear her voice. Shout out. And then we adventured to downtown Vancouver. We're going to some little shops, and I was really excited for Julie to see a specific shop. tell me why I didn't know they closed, and we were there 5 minutes till close, and I was like, we're not going to be those people. So sad. I didn't get to show her that shop. But we still had fun walking around. It's a cute little area. And then we were ready for dinner. And I had never gone to the pizza place, Hungry Sasquatch, and I had heard about it. It was delicious. And they do pizza by the slice. Yummo. And so I tried a jalapeno pepperoni one and a pesto slice. Delicious. And then after that, of course, we had to go get dessert. So we went and got dessert, took her to Salt and Straw. Yummo, yummo. It's so fun to take people there because I just like the atmosphere, and they let you taste all the different flavors and you don't have to feel bad about it. And I just love it so much. So it was fun to go share and taste different flavors with her. And then as we were eating our ice cream by the water, there was a big ship that came through, so they had to lift the bridge, and that was pretty cool. Julie, I don't think, had seen that, or Evan. One of them had not seen that before, so it was really fun to just watch the bridge go up. And Evan was like, that is why there is traffic, which is definitely true. And then after that, we decided impulsively to go see Multnomah waterfall, and that was really pretty. And we happened to be there during golden hour. Not too many people there, and just a really great evening. And something that is really fun about sharing the things you love with people that you love is Julie also loves all the flowers, and she was noticing the wildflowers on the side of the road and everything just as much as I was, and all of the hydrangeas, and it was just, we definitely have called each other we're the soul sisters. She's my soul sister, and we used to work together too, crazy. And so she was my high school teacher. That's where we got to know each other really well. And then I went to college and stayed in touch and got to be friends. And then she supported me through my whole college experience. Had no idea I was going to teach orchestra. And then the Queen of Orchestra, Julie Blackstock, allowed me to stay connected to her. And then I eventually got to work with her. And so that was just delightful. And yeah, and now we just get to be friends, and so really cool. And so when we worked together, we were the Gingersnaps because we're both redheads. And so the Gingersnaps took on Multnomah Falls in golden hour, and it was just delightful. And it was fun to share the things I love with someone who I really love. And then we came back home and chatted. Then it was time for bed. And then Saturday we slept in. That was nice. I was zonked out. And then we kind of did the same itinerary that I did with my sister. And so I took her to the lavender fields and the lavender farm, did a photo shoot. Julie loves photos, so that was fun. Got to take her picture. She took our picture too, and got to hear the bees roaming around. The lavender smell was more potent because it was towards the end of the season, so the flowers are starting to dry out, and that's when the smell comes. So that was interesting too. It wasn't as visually vibrant, but the smell was delightful compared to a couple weeks ago. So we did that. Then we went to the place where we could look at some berries and the fruit. Julie loves fruit trees and flowers there too, so that was just fun to be out. And after that, we did the scenic, we took her to our sandwich spot and then got to people watch in Hood River by the park. And there were so many kite surfers there, I think it's kite surfing. So many people, it was wild. So it's fun to share it with her. And then after that, we did the scenic drive on our way home, and we stopped at places we hadn't before. And it was, again, just so fun to share the nature and the beauty that we really enjoy and fills our cup, because it fills Julie just as much, if not more, than us. So we got to stop at a spot to take great pictures of Mount Hood, and then we were still going on our way home, and I saw some big turnouts, government camp, and some other kind of lodge, and we've always just passed it, and I was like, I wonder if those are good places to stop. So I had passed it, well past, and I was like, I'm gonna turn around. So I did a little U-turn, a little illegal, just a little illegal, but we're safe, everything's fine. And did that, and then went up this windy road. Didn't turn into anything, but I got that Evan guy, and that Evan guy, he looks things up, bless him. And he routed me to a place that was so cool. It was some lodge up there, and just, it was so beautiful. The view from the top, and then the view, you could see, I think it was Mount Jefferson south of us. It was just all kinds of pretty. So really nifty to share that new adventure too. And then I said, what are we doing for dinner? And then Julie's like, let's get some pizza. And I was like, sure, girl, let's do it. So she placed the order. We picked up pizza on the way home. And then we ate pizza, we yapped, we watched some TV, and it was time for bed. And then Sunday was the last day. So we slept in. Again, that was lovely. Slept in, and then we got some breakfast at a yummy place. I think it'll be a new staple for me and Evan. And then we went to the Vancouver Farmers Market, and that was really fun to walk around all the vendors. There's this beautiful artist that does some mountains. I talked about him last week. Anyways, he was there again, and I just admired his art, and I just thought it was so beautiful. And then we're just walking around the different booths and pastries. We saw some cookies, and I was like, we need a cookie. And then we stopped by another shop. Julie picked up some scones, and then we saw another shop, and we're like, we're gonna stop. So then we got lots of, I think it was like Mexican pastries. Pretty good. It was fun. Went to a farmer's market. Julie did get us peaches, apricots. They're called something else too. Anyway, she got that. So at least we had some kind of produce. But a Madison style farmer's market is just the pastries. Oh yeah, I don't need the fruit, I don't need the vegetables. And I love that we didn't have any vegetables because that's very Madison. Anyways, so then after that, oh, Julie also got me some flowers. Should have brought them in here for you to see. But she got me some flowers, and those are so beautiful, so colorful, so vibrant. And it was fun to pick those out. And then we came back home, and we just both read on the patio, soaked up the delicious temperature outside. It was only in the 60s and 70s. Delightful. And read some books. She finished her book, so yay her. And then after that, Evan drove us around Portland to see different homes. I love driving and looking at homes, and especially the Portland homes are so cool. And it's not, you know, your cookie cutter, traditional, just throw up a development. They were intentionally put there, probably mid-40s, 50s, something like that. But really fun to look at all the homes and all the character. So we did that, and then we came back, had dinner, and then we watched Somebody Feed Phil, which is on Netflix, and Julie suggested. But this guy Phil travels around the world and eats all kinds of different foods and exposes you to different things, and he's just fun and a delight. And then after that, we yapped some more, and it was time for bed. And then said goodbye to her this morning. She woke up early so I could give her a squeeze. And it was just wonderful to have her here. So we hope she comes back. Please come back. We've enjoyed all of our guests, to be clear. We love guests. Do come. And yeah, that's all I got. So I'm in better spirits. And better spirits doesn't mean it's all good, because it's not. We're moving through feels and still trying to find moments each day to fill me up and not just turn into a zombie. So I will catch you again in a week or less than, yappers. Catch you back here on Sunday, and I'll give you updates on how it's going. But I do encourage you to find something each day for you, because you are so much more important than what you produce, what you can achieve. You are just you. So yappers, thanks for the app sesh. Hope you have a great week. Bye.